My name is Neil Sexualty. I'm the Director of Economic Development here for the City of Sun Prairie. This is kind of an offshoot of, we have a Sun Prairie CEO networking event that we try to do here on a regular basis. And this, our host, Dave Hart, Continental Mapping, Chris Gross. I want to thank them, thank our hosts. Please put a round of applause early if you mind. Thank you, Dave. This is a great facility. They're a great employer here downtown. We're really proud to have them down here. They have this building as well as an additional building here downtown, and I'm sure Dave will cover some of the details of their operations here. But we're very thankful, and they're a great anchor for our downtown to have them here. Just part of the purpose of this event is generally to allow some of our CEOs here locally just to network and basically ask each other some questions. We try to bring in either a tour or a presentation that's of some use to the folks who attend. Dave jumped up, got really excited, had a great topic to deal with here tonight. So without further ado, I'm going to be turning it over to him in just a minute. I would like to take, before we get started, I want to introduce a few folks here because it helps me in my job appraisal here. So my elected officials who are here tonight, Mayor Paul Esser. My existing council members who are Mike Jacobs here. And Russell Osbender over here. Russell, thank you. And I have two newly fresh off the election, two new members here. I don't know, Steve might have snuck out because I don't see him. I think he's gone. Steve Stocker was here but had to go. But Green Crombie is our newest alderman here. So thanks to those folks who are here. And then I also want to George Doggle, president of our Chamber of Commerce. George, thank you for being here. I think that's everybody. Of course, it's always in danger if I miss somebody, and I'll hear about it tomorrow, I'm sure. So without further ado, and hopefully get you back to some networking, and certainly feel free to grab some food, as well as come over here to the corner and grab something to drink as you're here for the rest of the evening. Without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to our host, Dave Hart.
Thank you, Neil. I seem to have kind of a weird echo here. Let's see if this works without.
Turn it down.
Can everybody hear me all right if I just get rid of this? It's a little odd. So, thank you all for coming. Thank you, Neil. My name is Dave Hart. I am president and co-owner of Continental Mapping. My business partner, Chris Gross, is right over here. Hey, Chris. This is a networking event, so we'll try not to take too much time so you can get at the bar and do the networking that we all want to do. But since we are hosting, we get to do a little business brief and try to sell some of our wares a little bit to you, so we will do that. We wanted to talk a little bit about some of our history of Continental Mapping and trials and tribulations we've had building a small business, and the importance to us, and the things that are very important to us and how we've built our business. We are a government contractor. We understand the importance of the important interaction between private enterprise and government at all levels. And our guest later tonight, who I'll introduce at the end of this, has some important information for us that I think you're all going to be very, very interested in about how we need to help our governments be better at what they do. But first, a little bit about our history. Continental Mapping was founded in 1999 here in Sun Prairie. For those of you that don't know, we were in the alley behind the bank of Sun Prairie, which is now the bridal shop. So the reason we went there is because it was really cheap. It was about 400 square feet. We had some cardboard boxes and the two of us. And we slowly added some employees. Jason Fremming over here was one of our earliest employees. I don't know why he had the faith to join us, but he did. But it was bootstrap kind of business development and growing our business at the time. But it was fun, and we've grown to over 100. I think we topped out around 110 people. We're a little bit down from that now, but we look at future growth for our business, so very, very interesting. But a little bit about, first of all, I want to introduce some of our people here that have helped put this event together, Continental Mapping people. So I introduced Chris Gross, my business partner. We have Raquel Charlois, our Executive Vice President. There's Raquel, right here. Paul Braun, Vice President of Development, right here. Tim Kaya, Vice President of Mapping. Dan Fry, Director. I want to make sure I get everybody here. We've got Ron over here manning the bar. Tony Salsweet will help him with some of our LiDAR presentations. Corey Salvo, Cody, Archie, helping with the marketing things. Who am I missing?
Ben.
Ben Redding, manager of our business development. Beth, who helped put this event together. Where's Beth? Oh, she's way back there.
Hi.
in the back.
Yeah, and who am I missing? I think that's it. So thank you all for helping with this, and that's some of our staff here. But a little bit about what we do. We are a mapping company. We make maps. The history of our company, Chris and I are photogrammetrists. We do aerial mapping. So if anybody's seen the big X's out on the road, we put those there. Those are targets for our aerial mapping. We also use other technology like aerial LiDAR, which is lasers, which is really sort of taking over the aerial mapping process. We also do, can you go back one, Coach? Sorry. Mobile LiDAR, which is a new technology. You think about Google Street View and those kind of things. It's vehicle-mounted lasers that we do very high accurate mapping with. Survey of all types, a lot of it to support our mapping, but a lot of it on its own, hydrographic survey, geodetic boundary, those kind of things. And a big part of our business is satellite mapping, so we'll talk a little bit about that. And by the way, we have demos here of LiDAR, of the photogrammetry, like some of the visualization things with some of our partners, Josh and Matt, along with a lot of our work products around here. So I hope you take the time to look at some of these things and learn about it. It's always fun to show stuff off because we really don't have many customers come through here, or people at all, really, because our customers are all over, not in Sun Prairie, so it's nice. We also do a lot of geospatial software solutions. We build software for a lot of our government customers, and that's a growing part of our business, so let's keep going here. So this is some of the technology we use. Aerial LiDAR, airplanes, fixed wing, rotary wing. Of course, the drones, the UAVs, we've got some partners here that have some of their equipment. That is a growing part of our business. I know everybody's freaked out about that, but it's going to be a reality for us all very, very soon. Mobile LiDAR, vehicle-mounted systems that help us get very, very high accuracies for design engineering for a lot of transportation-type applications, utility applications. And I know a lot of you in the audience here are customers of ours and use a lot of the data that we build. Over here is a big plot on the wall that Cody made of some of the DOT work we do. That's very, very helpful. So, field survey. A lot of this is to support our mapping, but we do everything from very large boundary surveys to hydrographic survey and geodetic survey and all those supporting services. We have offices, as well as here in Sun Prairie. We have this building, and the building next door, the American Legion, for those of you that are from Sun Prairie. We kind of built this building thinking we'd never fill it. We filled it, and we spilled over next door, and we probably are going to need some more space at some point in the future here too.
I'm on it, Dave.
We have an office in St. Louis, Indianapolis, Kansas City, and a couple small one-person operations, Colorado, Minnesota, and a couple other places. So, okay, let's keep going forward. Satellite mapping is also a very, very large part of what we do. Most of our clientele there is on the defense and intelligence side. So next slide. I'm going really fast here, by the way. I'm going to take about 5 minutes and then introduce John, so I just want to give you a quick overview. This is sort of who we work for, our breakout of the customers we have. We always get the question, hasn't everything already been mapped? And we're like, yes, it has, but it keeps changing. So they need it remapped. So the biggest part of our business is defense and intelligence. We work for the intelligence community is, they call the Big Five intelligence community. They're CIA, DIA, NRO, which runs the satellites, and then there's NSA, which everybody heard of. Everybody knows what NSA is, right? Well, there's a fifth of the Big Five intelligence agencies. It's called NGA. That's the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency. That is our biggest customer by far. NGA is what they call the eyes to the NSA's ears. They're in charge of all mapping OCONUS outside the continental United States. And most of that is done via satellite. So we are one of a very large group of government contractors that serves NGA and its clients, which are and I think there's some maps over here on this wall over here that show the clients. Those are the military commands, PACOM, EURCOM, AFRICOM, and the others. So that's sort of how it's broken up. So NGA's customer base is the commands, as well as some others like foreign ag service and things like that, but a little bit smaller. So that's one of the biggest parts of our business is defense and intelligence, both directly to the government and to a lot of the big defense contractors. Some of the representative clientele that we have, go back one, Cody. For defense and intelligence, NGA, we have Air Force contracts that are ongoing for mapping a lot of the airports around the world. The U.S. Army, the National Guard, and a lot of defense contractors like BAE, Boeing, Harris, Institute for Defense Analysis, and on and on. So we are sort of involved. We go to Washington quite a bit and deal with people out there. Secondly, federal civil government. That is everything, the federal government that's not dealing with military type things. The Corps of Engineers is one of our biggest customers also. Corps of Engineers contracts by district. We work for the St. Louis District, Fort Worth District, Tulsa District, under master contract that we own. And then we work on a number of other contracts, doing all kinds of mapping, including the hydrographic survey, the aerial mapping, and a lot of other things. DHS, FEMA, the National Guard, and a lot of other departments that need mapping for doing their programs. Next. DOT and transportation. Obviously, we have a theme here tonight that's talking about some of the funding for our infrastructure. DOT is a big part of what we do. We have a lot of clients and partners here that are involved in that. I hope you get a chance to meet each other. DOT contracts we do a lot of, as well as the construction and engineering firms involved with this all over the country. Next slide. And then private environmental, manufacturing, mining exploration, real estate, landfills and stockpiles, anything that needs updated mapping from aerial or mobile platforms we do, as well as some smaller things for energy and utility. ATC is a customer of ours, and then private and environmental. Let's go to the next slide. So what drives our business? Our need for new mapping, or people come to us when they have a need for a map that has currency, clarity, or content, the 3 C's we call it. Because we can all go to Google Earth and look at something and use it for our business. But typically when we get a call, it's because the currency of what's available to them is not good enough. The clarity, which usually means resolution or accuracy, is not sufficient for the use of what they're trying to get at. Or the content, what's on my map is not what I need. That drives pretty much all of our business, from the satellite mapping down to the very high accuracy things that we do. So those are really the need. When they come to us, they have a currency, clarity, content need. What we provide is the mapping, measuring, and modeling using these various technologies on satellite to mobile platforms and on boats and things like that to try to drive to a solution that gets them some sort of map that serves their need. So what we really provide is authoritative geography. So really, when someone says to us, hasn't everything already been mapped? And I say yes. Location-based services, the phones that we carry around, the things that we do, demand currency, demand content, and demand clarity. So that's keeping our business and actually exploding our business as we go forward. We're integrating not only with our government clients, but now in the private sector needs as well. So this is my last slide, and I'm going to introduce John. Factors critical to our long-term success include, for us as a government contractor, government mapping programs, or government programs in general, that value private sector involvement to include innovation and continuous program reform. This is always the case, as even our intelligence agencies seems to be the slowest ones to innovate. So they need to rely on the private sector to help them innovate. So we need to help push that forward, because there's always this constant push-pull to insource or outsource and things like that. So this is some agencies do better, some do worse. Finding mechanisms for long-term stability of funding is very, very important. And finally, broadly, a vibrant economy. If everybody else in this room is doing well, we're usually doing very well. This requires appropriately funded public infrastructure as a key component, which is my segue to introduce Mr. John Gard. Let me tell you a little bit about John before he jumps up here. Uh-oh.